Diana Prater has it at the top of the wheel, looking inside. She'll take it herself. Right side off the glass and in. Diana Prater now has 14. Prater working from left to right, finds Wiley down low on the left low post. Wiley, a nice move inside, and she puts it off the glass and in. A phenomenal game so far for Wiley. Jessica Talley has it on the near side. Good ball reversal. Skip pass over to Mayers. Mayers releases the three, and she got it. Emily Mayers, a nice shot there.
Beast on the court, homeboy, I play the hardest. Jump shot stupid, yeah, it's retarded. You can't guard me in the paint, I'm an artist.
And the Blazers are going to come away with a win in this one, and they look to keep the hot streak going.
Hard till I hit a rep, blow the whistle. I'm a player, but my game be so official. Never reach, gotta stay out.
It's time for Blazer basketball. Welcome to the BB&T Arena. Doug Raftery alongside me, my partner Ryan Hedrick. This afternoon, it's senior day. The Hood College Blazers come in at 6-16 overall, 2-12 in the Capital Athletic Conference. They face off against the Marymount University Saints, who come in 10-12, 7-6 in the CAC here at the BB&T Arena. 12th meeting all time between these schools. Marymount hasn't lost against the Blazers all-time 11-0 record. Their closest game, the Blazers with MU last year, was a 7-point loss in Virginia. This season's matchup, Marymount, they came out with a win, 68-47 in Arlington. That happened in the beginning of January. Blazers, they fell behind early, clawed their way back, but 2 3-pointers at the end of the first half really hurt them. Second half, it was all Marymount. Rachel Wiley finished with her 4th double-double of the season at 12 points and 10 rebounds. Had floor box for Hood. Prater tallied 14 points with 3 3-pointers. And the Blazers coming off of a loss, but a tight one at that. And now bringing in my partner, Ryan Hedrick. The Blazers fell by 6 points to the number 8 team in the nation, Mary Washington, on Wednesday. What a surprise that was.
Yeah, what a surprise, Doug. And the morale is still soaring in that locker room, as Jack Mail tells me before the game. The Blazers almost made national headlines as they fell to 7th-ranked Mary Washington, 53-47. They were only down by 5 with 50 seconds left. It was the second time this season that undefeated Mary Washington won by less than 10. So, you know, Doug, teams that go undefeated certainly have bumps and grinds along the road, and that was certainly one. But let's not discredit what the Hood Blazers did. And what they did was play very solid defense, and they were able to keep the game close. They used a mix of good shooting and good defense and a lot of timely rebounds in order to stay close to the 7th-ranked team in the country.
Mary Washington scored, or check that, they shot only 33% from the floor, and that shows you how impressive the Blazers defense actually was. And how about the offensive end? Emily Mayers has been fantastic for the Blazers so far this season, as Mayers is second on this team, averaging about 10.5 points per game, 6 3-pointers, a career high for her, and the streak just keeps continuing.
It certainly does, Doug. She has made a 3-point basket in 18 straight games, and based on the last 12 years of numbers, Mayers' streak is second best at Hood at all time. Imagine that, only to 2004 alum Mandy Fisher's run of 46. And Doug and I were doing the math before the game to see if there's any way that Emily can catch Mandy, and probably not, but it's certainly going to be an impressive streak if and when it comes to an end.
Certainly. We talked to Blazer lone senior Emily Strout before the game, and we're going to have that interview coming up here on the Hood Athletic Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show on the Hood Athletic Network here with Hood senior Emily Strout. And Emily, your last season here with Blazers as a senior, the only senior on this women's squad. Just give me a few words, reflect a little bit about this season, and talk a little bit about head coach Jack Mell in his first season, how he's helped you guys develop.
Well, this is my first season playing, and I think Coach Mell did a really good job. I know our record's not as good, but I think our team is way better than our record shows, and I think next year we'll do really well. Our team's very hardworking, and we have a lot of people who are dedicated, so I think Coach Mell will bring the program around.
And talk a little bit about, you know, the team and how you guys, the relationship with each other on road trips, and how much fun have you had this year with the girls, even though the record hasn't been fantastic?
We get along really well, so even though we lose, we always have fun on the way home, and during practice and stuff, we always get along, so I mean, it's been a good season even though we haven't done very well.
Also, you're going to be playing softball this upcoming spring season. Talk a little bit about how, you know, it is being an athlete in two sports, being a student athlete in general. How difficult is it, and how much work do you have to be putting into as the athlete part?
Well, it's actually kind of hard right now because I have to go from like softball practice to basketball, so it's a little hard. I mean, usually, I guess this is my first season or my first year playing two sports, so I'm not used to it. It's definitely a lot harder than I thought, but I mean, I find time for homework and stuff. But
A psychology major. What are you looking to do with that after graduation?
actually, after graduation, I'm going to try out for a military band because I'm minoring in saxophone performance, so I'm going to try to do that. And while I'm in there, I want to get my master's degree in psychology and eventually hopefully get my doctorate and work in the CIA with that, or the military.
Seems like a bright future for Emily Strout. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network on the pregame show. It's the Hood College Blazers at the BB&T Arena facing off against the Marymount University Saints. That was Emily Strout, the Blazers' lone senior, who you just heard from, and Ryan Hedrick, the Blazers, looking to pull off a little bit of an upset here as they've never beaten Marymount before in their history. Marymount, well, they come in sitting in fourth place in the Capital Athletic Conference, and they need to win 2 of 3 games to guarantee a home playoff spot. This is a Marymount squad who's on a 3-game winning streak after defeating Salisbury, St. Mary's, and Wesley in consecutive games, and the defense has been absolutely fantastic in all 3 of those games for the Saints.
Yeah, it certainly has, and I was talking to Ashley Corder before the game, their head coach in her second season. I said, would you define this game as a must-win game? And she said, you betcha. We have to come in here with the same mentality that we played with in January and December and keep that intensity and keep it going. You certainly don't want to let up anything going into the playoffs, especially a situation, Doug, because when you play well and you continue to play well and you're playing at a high level, it carries over and it's a trickle-down effect. And if you let off any part of the accelerator going into the playoffs, you might pay for it by going home in the first round. That's certainly something they don't want to do.
This is a Marymount team that has held their last 3 opponents to under 58 points. Certainly impressive, and that's usually a number that the Blazers look at to hold, as all 6 of their wins this year have come when they hold their opponents under 60 points. So possibly a low-scoring affair here in this one. You figure Diana Prater going to lead the Blazers along with Emily Mayers. You certainly need both of those players to start scoring if the Blazers are going to pull this one out. We're going to take a break and have you guys, our listeners, listen to and watch the senior presentation at the BB&T Arena. We'll be back with the tip-off and starting lineups on the Hood Athletic Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BB&T Arena on the campus of Hood College for the first game of tonight's Capital Athletic Conference doubleheader between the visiting Marymount University Saints and your Hood College Blazers. We now ask that you turn your attention to midcourt for a special presentation. At this time, Hood College President Dr. Ron Volpe, Dean of Students Dr. Olivia White, Director of Athletics Gib Romaine, and Head Coach Jack Mell would like to recognize Hood's lone graduating senior for her contributions to the women's basketball program this year. Our first and only senior has played just this season for the Blue and Gray. She's been a solid role player when called upon in her 16 games of action and putting good minutes in the interior of the defense. Her career high of 5 points came against Shenandoah University, and she has grabbed 16 total rebounds on the year. She is also a 4-year member of the Hood softball team and is involved with the wind ensemble and jazz ensemble. She will graduate in May with a degree in psychology and a minor in saxophone performance, with plans of trying out for a military band after graduation. She would also like to get her master's in psychology while working in the military as a psychologist or work for the CIA or FBI. She is joined today by all of her teammates. Ladies and gentlemen, number 20, Emily Straub. We have a late arrival. Emily's dad has just arrived. Congratulations, Emily.
Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network. We'll get to the starting lineups first for the visiting Marymount University Saints, who come in 10-12, 7-6 in the CAC. Starting at guard, a 5'7" junior from Reisterstown, Maryland, Caitlin Fisher. At guard, a 5'7" freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Dominique Dickens. A 5'6" senior guard from Manassas, Virginia, Sam Spencer. A 5'11" senior forward from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, Jackie Bohenick. And a 5'10" senior from Howells, New York, Julie Tomaszewski, will take a break for the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what surrounded me at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red the land of bombs bursting. It had gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
A fantastic national anthem here at the BB&T Arena. We're about to get started now for the starting lineups for your Hood College Blazers, who come in 6-16 overall, 2-12 in the CAC. Starting at guard, a 5'4" junior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, Diana Prater. A 5'4" freshman from Frederick, Maryland, Brianna Lee. A 5'8" junior, a guard from Frederick, Maryland, Jessica Talley. A 5'11" freshman from Frederick, Maryland, Rachel Wiley. And the 5'8" junior guard from Myersville, Maryland, 18 straight games with a three-pointer, Emily Mayers. Head coach Jack Mail in his first season. Assistant coaches Allison Lethbridge, Brian Martin, Jen Moxley, and Antoine Nixon. And you saw Emily Straub in her senior day, and her father had not yet arrived, and you saw the entire Blazers squad go out there. What a touching moment, and what a nice way to go out there as a team and know that your team is behind you if you're Emily Straub.
You know, so many people do not see the camaraderie, what goes into this basketball team. They don't see the practices, they don't see the travels, the long road trips, the going to eat after a game, the laughing, the joking, the crying, the emotions that go into a basketball season, Doug, and what makes a basketball program run, from the president, Ronald Volpe, to Gib Romaine, the athletic director, to Jack Mail in his first year, to Adrian Molkin, the sports information director. Nobody sees the work behind the scenes, and this is a culmination of what that hard work and dedication today's senior day, with one player from the women's team having the spotlight on her, and 3 from the men's team. A very emotional day here at Hood College.
It certainly is. Last game for the women at the BB&T Arena this season. They will not make the playoffs, but to be quite honest, that really wasn't a goal set in their minds early in the season with a first-year head coach in Jack Mail, Ryan. And, you know, they were thinking about it when they played Stevenson only a couple of games ago. If they won that game, they would have had a very good chance, but they didn't, and now they move on. But you have to love the valiant effort they gave in their last game against Mary Washington. If you're just tuning in, Hood fell by 6 points, only the second time this season. Mary Washington has won by less than 10 points.
You know, I was talking to Jack Mail before the game, during the alumni game, and we usually have the keys to victory, and we usually pit one player against another, but I want to put some strategy into the scenario. The scenario I want to paint today is not to have Rachel Wiley and Dory Mercer get in early foul trouble together, because what's been happening in the last couple of games, Doug, is Rachel Wiley will pick up a couple of fouls, and then Dory Mercer subbing in for her will pick up a couple of fouls. And we're talking about Dory Mercer and Rachel Wiley, both 5'11" players. And when you have 2 of your biggest players get in foul trouble like that, what are you going to do? You're just going to expend a lot of energy rotating defensively, making adjustments, unnecessary adjustments at that. So the key to victory for the Blazers today is keep Rachel Wiley and Dory Mercer on the court and out of foul trouble.
And you look at Rachel Wiley's numbers and you see her rebounds per game has gone down to 9.2, and you can say, oh, she's playing so much worse. What is she doing? It's not. It is the foul trouble, Ryan. She hasn't been getting enough minutes to get enough rebounds. About to get started here at the BB&T Arena. Marymount in their away blue unis with their blue tops, blue shorts, white letters, and black trim. The Blazers in their home white uniforms. Tip-off is won by the Saints. They'll control in the front court is Dominique Dickens at the foul line. Pass down low, left low block to Bohenick, rejected by the Blazers, and the Blazers will run it up. It's Diana Prater in between the circles. Jessica Talley set at the foul line, looking to set a high pick. Prater rolls around the other side. Prater on the right wing, looking for Brianna Lee to pop out and receive it. She does so near side sideline. She's caught up, being trapped by Dickens. Finds Wiley outside the three-point arc, right side. Prater now has it. Prater, her jump shot, right elbow, partially deflected, and Marymount has it running up the court. From right to left is Dickens. Dickens up top, a pass to Spencer. Spencer whips it over to Fisher. Fisher dribbling from left to right, now at the foul line. Whips it over to the right side to Sam Spencer. Thought out the 3. Kicks it back to Fisher, who penetrates the zone. A bounce pass, left side baseline to Tomaszewski, who drains the two-pointer 12 feet out, and Marymount has a 2-0 lead 1 minute into the first half.
Well, Tomaszewski has been a thorn in the side of the Blazers for years, and right there, the nice jump shot, nice penetration and dish, and Marymount draws first blood.
Prater has it up top to Emily Mayers. Mayers, right sideline to Prater. Prater working against Caitlin Fisher. Prater stopped right side baseline, tries to throw it to Wiley, and a travel is going to be called on Prater before she could get the ball out of her arms. First turnover on the Blazers.
Well, you got to come out here. You got to want this thing in front of what is turning out to be a very large home crowd. Why don't you play season spoiler to these people right here.
Fisher on the far side, rolls around a high pick, drives into the lane, dumps it off to Tomaszewski, who lays it off the glass and in. Tomaszewski with all 4 Marymount points. It's 4-0. Saints with 18:20 left in the first.
Yeah, you're going to have to get somebody to double and triple team Tomaszewski.
Mayer's three-pointer right corner, off the backboard and off to the left. And she's 0 for 1 from three-point range. Remember, 18 straight three-pointers she has made in consecutive games. Into the front court is Marymount. Pass deflected out of bounds to the left of the basket. It'll be Saints ball underneath the basket. 4-0 Marymount, 2 minutes into the first half. Inbounding it, Caitlin Fisher. She finds Tomaszewski. Fisher gets it back. Fisher at the left elbow. Pass over to Dickens. Dickens, a floater, 6 feet out, middle of the lane. Rims out, and Prater has it for the Blazers. 4-0 Marymount, 17:52 in the first half. Prater will control for the Blazers in between the circles, working her way to the near side. Pass right corner, Brianna Lee. Lee finds Tally, who pops mid-lane right side to get it. Back to Brianna Lee on the right wing. Crossover move. She's picked by Dickens. It'll roll out of bounds. It'll be Blazer ball right in front of us.
Well, Marymount rotating very well defensively, Doug, and on offensive end, very crisp with the ball movement, getting good timely shots.
Diana Prater receives the inbounds, dribbling with the right hand. 8 on the shot clock, did not reset. Prater, right low block, will be fouled as she was double teamed by Fisher and Tomaszewski. It'll be the first team foul on Marymount, first team foul for either of the squads this afternoon, and it'll be the first on Caitlin Fisher. 4-2 Marymount, 17.5 left in the first half. Mayers to inbound, right side baseline, finds Wiley. Wiley back towards the basket near the right corner, hands it off to Jessica Talley, who is guarded by Jackie Bohenick. Bohenick, the 5'11 senior. Pass is batted out of bounds by Marymount. It'll be Blazer ball near the corner on the sideline, near side.
Well, the last 2 possessions, the ball's been out of Diana Prater's hands, and it showed they're really struggling to move that ball, get it in her hands. Everything works through her.
Prater has it on the right wing, right corner pass to Mayers. Mayers ball above her head, now dribbling with the left hand on the near side. Finds on the right low post Wiley. Wiley looking to post up on Tomaszewski, but she loses it out of bounds as she got into the paint. Turnover on the Blazers, their third. Not even 3 minutes into the first half. It's 4-0 Marymount.
That's one thing Wiley's got to work on this summer and upcoming is back to the basket, the low post game. She has to develop one.
Marymount on the offensive end. It's Fisher underneath the basket, works to the left side, pass to Spencer for 3. She drained it. Marymount 7, Blazers 0. Under 3 minutes into the first half, and a timeout is going to be called by the Blazers head coach Jack Mail, a 30-second timeout, and not the start that the Blazers wanted after coming off an almost national headline win on Wednesday night against Mary Washington. They fell by 6 points, and a lethargic start here. 3 turnovers in the first 3 minutes.
Well, if there's anybody you want to watch shooting the tray, it's Sam Spencer and Caitlin Fisher, both of which came into the game, Doug, with 44 three-pointers. Spencer now has 45 on the season. If you want to know how well they shoot the 3, just look at the overall three-point stats for the team. Nobody else is in double digits in that category, and Spencer just drained it. You have to rotate better and keep an eye on Fisher and Spencer. This thing is getting out of hand. You do not want to fall behind too far to this potent offense.
Caitlin Fisher, second in the CAC in three-point percentage at 40.5 this season, so she is certainly a threat along with Spencer. We return to play. Brianna Lee in between the circles, making her way to the top of the key. Finds Wiley inside the top of the key. Right corner pass to Prater. Prater's three-pointer too long. Hit nothing. Out of bounds off of Hood as the offensive rebound was attempted to be corralled by Mayers. Went off for fingertips. It'll be Marymount ball.
Well, it's funny because Emily Mayers coming off the big game hasn't touched the ball once this afternoon. Get her involved, get a rhythm established, and get some points on the board. Again, you have to put some points on the board to beat this team.
7-0 Marymount. 16:20 left in the first half. Fisher, a nice slashing move, received it on the right low post. Her shot was rejected by the Blazers, and running past midcourt is Prater. Prater dribbling with the right hand, hands it off to Lee, back to Prater on the near side. Prater picks up her dribble inside the arc, right side, hands it off to Tally. Tally, crossover move, dribbling with the right hand, right low block to Wiley. Wiley, a turnaround, Jay lays it in, and it's the first 2 points for the Blazers. They trail 7-2, under 16 minutes left in the first.
Well, that's the back to the basket game we wanted. Keep getting the ball ball in the post to her. She's out of foul trouble. She's looking good this afternoon with 2 blocks.
Caitlin Fisher driving into the lane and scores. Fisher with her first 2 points, and it's 9-2 Marymount, 15.5 left in the first. We talked about Rachel Wiley and improving her game. Head coach Jack Mail says we got her to square up to the basket. She does well when she's facing the hoop, but the back to the basket game is what we are working on currently. Wiley with her back to the basket right now, right lane mid side. Cross court pass to Brianna Lee. Lee's 18-footer off the back of the heel, and it's brought down by Caitlin Fisher. 9-2 Marymount, 15-10 left in the first half. Fisher a bounce pass down to Tynesha Parks. Parks driving into the zone. Her shot too short off of the rim, and Prater has it for the Blazers. Prater, cross-court pass to Lee. Lee driving, puts up the wild shot off the high of the glass, and it'll go out of bounds off of Lee's fingertips, and it's 9-2 Marymount. 15 minutes left in the first.
Well, you had Emily Mayers wide open in the right corner again. She hasn't touched the ball. That's the storyline of this game so far, Doug. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Will touch the ball once. 5 minutes and 3 seconds into the game. She's got to get more shots than that.
Dickens to run the point, this time down the court for the Saints. A bounce pass to the left elbow to Bohenick. Back to Dickens, who slashes into the lane. Shot was off to the left, though, and Prater is going to motor into the offensive end for the Blazers. Picks up her dribble, finds Bears, left wing three-pointer. It was to the right, no good, and it's brought down by Dominique Dickens. Running into the front court is Marymount. On the far side is Sam Spencer. Up top to Caitlin Fisher. A nice crossover move against Heather Boyce, who just checked in. Dickens a three-pointer left wing. Drained it. And Marymount is hot to start this one. It's 12-2 Saints. 14 minutes left in the first.
That's Dickens' third attempt in 12, or third make in 12 attempts, so they're shooting the ball really well from the field.
Prater to the right of the top of the key, dribbling against Caitlin Fisher. Prater right side baseline, hands it off to Wiley. Finger roll is converted, and Rachel Wiley is all four for the Blazers on 2 of 2 from the floor. It's 12-4 Saints, 13:50 left.
You gotta like the way Wiley's moving in and around the basket, getting good high percentage shots.
Sam Spencer, a high screen is set. She rolls around it, finds Bohenick. Bohenick going into the lane will be fouled on her way up in her shot attempt. She'll go to the line for 2. And checking in the next time will be Zoe Salzgiver for the Saints. And going to the line for a pair is Jackie Bohenick, the 5'11 senior.
Well, Rachel Wiley picking up the foul, and her first foul comes 6 minutes and 16 seconds into action. We'll see if she can stay out of foul trouble, though. We documented her. I mean, I believe she's picked up 4 or more fouls in 5 straight games, and it's been a real challenge for her to stay out of that column, but they need her on the floor if they're going to win this game.
Bohenick missed the first one, came in 60% from the line, converts the second. It's 13-4 Saints, 13:40 left in the first half. And that previous play that Wiley scored on, Ryan, it was Diana Prater. The team's knowing that she's dangerous, driving right side baseline. They had the double team her, and Wiley was just found down low on the dump from Prater. Wiley has it outside the wheel now, and her pass above the head to Brianna Lee will go out of bounds. Turnover number 4 in the Blazers. 6.5 minutes into the first half, it's 13-4 Marymount.
Well, again, you try to go back into what's working. What's working for you is Rachel Wiley, so establish that presence in the post and go back into it. No need to stay on the perimeter if the inside game's working.
Tynesha Parks, 12-footer, right side of the paint. It was off to the left, and Brianna Lee had the rebound. Diana Prater into the front court, past far side to Heather Boyce. Boyce a pump fake, finds Wiley at the left elbow. Now Brianna Lee penetrating the zone, kicks it out right corner to Boyce. Boyce middle of the lane to Wiley. Wiley a pass, left corner, shot to Brianna Lee right inside the three-point line. She got it, and it's 13-6 Marymount, 12:48 remaining. First 2 points for the Blazers that haven't gone to Wiley.
Well, speaking of Brianna Lee, we've seen so much growth from her since her concussion, Doug. She's really shooting the ball well.
Bohenick into the lane, shot underneath the basket is fouled. Will go to the line for the second straight possession for the Saints. 4-2 shots.
And this is a team, Doug. Brianna Lee, Rachel Wiley, Diana Prater, Jessica Talley. They're all going to be back. Emily Mayers, they're all going to be back. This is a team that has a good future. They are on the right track, and you could see it in the last couple of games they played.
It's amazing the growth that this team has seen within themselves, and I think even head coach Jack Mail has grown as a coach, Ryan.
Absolutely.
As he has he has looked for more respect out of his players. They've given it to him. And in that respect, I think he has earned more respect from his own players.
Well, certainly, and after a long tenure at FCC and coaching and grooming great local talent, he now could do it on a larger platform here. And he's certainly gained the respect of a lot of people here at the college, not just his players.
Bohanec makes both free throws. It's 15-6 Marymount, a 9-point lead with 12:20 left in the first half. Wiley on the right low block from left to right is fouled on her way up. Will go to the line for a pair, and really she's dominating down low right now, whether it's against Bohanec or Tomaszewski down low. She really looks agile down there this afternoon.
Yeah, well, she had a double-double in the last meeting. She finished with 12 points and 10 rebounds. And based on those numbers, she continues on the pace and stays out of foul trouble. She's going to shatter those numbers this afternoon.
Foul was on Tomaszewski, her first. It's the team's second. Wiley makes the first free throw. It's 15-7 Marymount. 12:25 left in the first. Wiley's second is in and out around the rim. And Caitlin Fisher will bring it up in the backcourt to the front court for the Marymount University Saints. Marymount coming in at 7-6 in the CAC. The Blazers 2-12. Marymount trying to lock up the 4 seed in the CAC. They need to win 2 of their next 3 games in order to do so. On the right side is Caitlin Fisher. Tomaszewski sets a pick. Fisher doesn't want to roll around it. Pops and drops the 3 instead. And Caitlin Fisher has her first 3-pointer of the afternoon. It's 18-7 Marymount with 11:50 left in the first.
Well, between Fisher and Spencer, they have 93 pointers this season.
Prater driving and makes the layup off the backboard. 18-9 Marymount. 11:40 remaining. Prater with her first 2 points and is 1 of 2 from the floor.
They got to keep fighting here. They're in the game. They're starting to play a little bit better. Hood, 37.5% from the field. Respectable numbers.
Far side, right side sideline is Spencer. Spencer, a pass with her left hand to Fisher. Fisher top of the key, a crossover move on Prater. Hands it off to Zoe Salzgiver. Salzgiver, the 5'7" junior, works inside the arc. Pass over to Spencer. Spencer, a 23-foot three-pointer, front of the iron, won't go. And it's brought down by Emily Mayers. A foul will be called on the Saints. It'll be the 3rd team foul on the Saints. And no, it's going to be called on Emily Mayers. Wow, I am absolutely amazed at that one.
You have to be kidding me. That is an absolute joke, and I'm sorry, I'm not one to get on the officials. They do the best they can without the benefit of replay.
Just got the rebound.
But Becky King, the referee on the sideline, calling a foul on Emily Mayers. How can you call a foul on somebody that's getting a rebound? Especially, she didn't even shove away for
it's on Rachel Wiley.
Okay.
Away from the ball. So it was away from the rebound. They got Wiley her second, and we talked about the foul trouble. She has struggled in trying to do so. We return to play. Right low block shot by Tomaszewski to the right of the basket, and it won't go for her. It'll be called a jump ball on the defensive rebound. It'll be Blazer ball, but foul number 2 on Rachel Wiley, and unfortunate there. Didn't look like it. 18-9 Marymount, under 11 minutes left in the first.
Yeah, and you and I both know Jack Mail is not going to leave Rachel Wiley out there with 2 fouls with 10.5 left to go, Doug.
We might not see Rachel Wiley the rest of this first half. Usually head coach Jack Mail says, hey, you get 2 fouls, you're out into the second half. Emily Straub, the Blazers' lone seniors, into the game, into the front court. She gets her ball stolen away from her, and a turnover on the Blazers, their 5th. Marymount without a turnover almost halfway into the first half. Impressive. Dickens working around Strout, off the glass and in from the left side, and Dominique Dickens has 5 points, tied for a game high. It's 20-9 Marymount. 10:15 left in the first half. It's tied for their largest lead of the game.
That Dickens drive to the basket made possible by the pick set by Tomaszewski.
Heather Boyce, right side, left side baseline. The finger roll was up. It didn't hit anything, but a foul is going to be called on Tomaszewski. It'll be her second, as a block will be called, and it's the 3rd team foul on the Saints. It's Tomaszewski's second. So both big players for both squads in foul trouble. Boyce receives the inbounds, launches the 3, won't go, brought down by Tynesha Parks, and Marymount wants the run. It's Caitlin Fisher dribbling past midcourt, cross-court pass to Spencer. Spencer, far side, right side sideline, back up top to Fisher. Fisher guarded by Emily Stroud. Now Brianna Lee will go guard her. Sam Spencer receives the pass, launches the 3. It was too long, goes out of bounds off of the Blazers' Brianna Lee as she touched it on the near side sideline.
Well, this is extremely impressive, Doug. Marymount No turnovers, 11 minutes and 15 seconds into action.
Certainly impressive. Dominique Dickens up top, Fisher at the foul line, back up top to Sam Spencer, over to Dickens. Dickens left side baseline jumper, too strong, but it's batted out by the Saints and corralled at midcourt by Tomaszewski. Dickens has it at the top of the key with a fresh shot clock. Far side, it's Sam Spencer, rolls around a high pick set by Parks, cross-court pass to Dickens. Dickens left low block to Tomaszewski, bumps her defender off. Shot was too long though, and the rebound taken down by Jessica Talley. A foul is going to be called on Tynesha Parks, the fourth on the Marymount Saints, and the first on Tynesha Parks. It's 20-9 Saints with 9:15 left in the first.
And here comes Dory Mercer checking into the ball game for Jessica Talley or Emily Stroup, and it's going to be Emily Stroup. And this game's getting very physical inside. You can see both these teams fighting for the rebound, and Parks and Talley right there at the free throw line exchanging some pushing, nothing serious, but this game continues to grow in intensity, my friend.
Marymount 7 of 18 from the floor. The Blazers 4 of 10 from the floor, as Marymount has 2 offensive rebounds. They've just played better basketball halfway through this first half. Jessica Talley on the left wing, dribbles to up top, off to Brianna Lee. Lee puts it on the floor, top of the key, down right side mid lane to Talley. Talley to Boyce. Boyce, a three-pointer. It was in, came out, wanted to go in again, but it popped out. Parks with the rebound.
Oh, that was so far in they could have tasted it. Man, they almost put the points on the scoreboard.
Fisher on the far side, pass to Spencer, releases a three. It falls, and it's 23-9 Marymount. 8:35 remaining in the first, and Marymount starting to run away with this one early.
Yeah, that's demoralizing, Doug. That three-pointer, that's almost like a 6-point switch there.
Dory Mercer inside the arc, top of the key. She'll be tangled up by Parks. It'll be called a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Saints, and the Blazers turn the ball over yet again. It's number 6 subbing into the game, Emily Mayers. After a short break on the bench, Heather Boyce will come out for Hood.
And the bottom line is the turnover story, Doug. That's why it's a 14-point game right now. +6 in the turnovers for Marymount.
8:15 left in the first. Dominique Dickens on the far side. Back up top to Fisher. Fisher to Spencer on the left side. Foul line pass to Bohenick. Bohenick finds a slashing Fisher, who puts it in the basket. And a nice setup play there by Marymount. It's 25-9 Saints with 8 minutes left.
Well, they get some high percentage shots on those pick and rolls, on those back screens. They have it working this afternoon.
Emily Mayers on the left wing, dribbling with the right hand. She's on the right wing now. Pass to Prater. Prater dribbling right side baseline. Throws up the shot, hit nothing. Brought down by Dickens. Prater 1 of 3 from the floor for only 2 points. 12 minutes and 30 seconds into the first half. Dominique Dickens with the ball. She has the ball poked away from her, but it goes back to the Saints. Fisher has it on the right side. Whistle is blown. And a shot clock
malfunction.
Yeah, and it looks like 17 is going to go on the shot clock. And they started running the shot clock down. The game clock was going with it. As of now, there's 7:22 on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock, 25-9 Saints.
Well, referee Christopher Clark right on top of that one. Good job by him.
Caitlin Fisher, two-pointer inside the right corner, too strong, brought down by Prater. Prater dribbling past midcourt with the right hand. Prater with that armband on her right hand, finds Talley at the foul line. Talley driving, will be fouled, and going to the line to shoot a pair is Talley.
I'll tell you what, Doug, this Talley-Parks matchup is getting very interesting to watch. If you watch away from the ball, they are going at it tenaciously as Talley took her to the basket and was knocked down to the ground hard. He'll go to the line for a couple.
Talley, the first one, knocks it down. Subbing in for Marymount, Tomaszewski along with Carolyn Hildreth. Hildreth, the first action for her, the 5'6" freshman. Coming out of the game, Sam Spencer along with Tynesha Parks. Kristen Byers will come into the game for Hood. Brianna Lee will come out.
Well, you got to take advantage while Spencer's out of there. She's 2 for 4 from the field. Both shots 3-pointers for 6 points.
Talley, the second one off the front of the iron, brought down by Marymount. It's 25-10 Saints, 7 minutes left in the first half. On the right side is Dickens. Dickens to Fisher, wide open left wing, buried it. You don't need to leave her wide open. Timeout will be called by the Blazers. 28-10 Marymount. 6:52 left in the first half, and it's a 7 points for Caitlin Fisher. It'll be a full timeout for the Blazers. And it's a 28-10 Marymount lead, and Ryan Hedrick, the Blazers, just struggling from the floor early on, not playing very good defense. Caitlin Fisher, a couple wide open three-pointers, and it's just been a struggle for Hood.
Yeah, if it's not Fisher, it's Spencer. If it's not Spencer, it's Fisher. But the bottom line is Marymount is just not giving Hood second opportunities by turning the ball over, and that's exactly what the Blazers are doing afternoon. Is this game over? Absolutely not. 18 points down, that's 9 buckets. That's a short run for the Blazers, but they have to establish some kind of rhythm. And Emily Mayers, Doug, 1 or 2 shots from the field, that's not going to get it done. She's coming off a career performance, almost making national headlines, draining 6 3-pointers against the 7th-ranked team in the country. You've got to get her the ball more, and you've got to establish some kind of inside presence. Now that Rachel Wiley has 2 fouls, where do the Blazers go from here?
You have to remember the last game between these two teams, Marymount, though they got off to a hot start just like this one, the Blazers cut it down. They tied the game up at 22, and then Marymount had 2 threes to lead by 6 at halftime. We'll get the action back behind us as we return to play. Doug Raftery, Ryan Hedrick with you on the Hood Athletic Network. It's 28-10 Marymount, 6:50 left in the first half. Diana Prater, Emily Mayers, Dory Mercer, Jessica Talley, Kristen Byers, the 5 on the court for Hood. Out of the timeout, Prater in between the circles, dribbling with the right hand, working against Fisher. The 2 leading minute getters in the CAC against each other in Prater and Fisher. On the far side, it's Mayers. Mayers picks up her dribble. She is caught at the top of the key, 6 on the shot clock. Prater on the left wing, dribbling inside the arc. Turnaround Jay. It's off to the left, brought down by Fisher, and Marymount wants the run on the offensive end. It's Fisher dribbling at the foul line, takes it herself, coast to coast. Shot was partially blocked. It was off the glass, no good. Tomaszewski with the rebound. She put it up, it was no good as well, and it'll be off of the Saints on the ensuing offensive attempt, and the Blazers will have it. 28-10 Saints over the Blazers. 6 minutes left in the first half. In between the circles, Prater. Prater raising her left hand, looking for Jessica Talley at the top of the key to set a pick. Instead, she'll go to the right to Kristen Byers, who just lost her footing there. Will lose it out of bounds on the near side sideline. Turnover number 7 for the Blazers. Again, just like we said in the last full timeout, no turnovers for Marymount.
Yeah, Doug, and the Blazers have gone almost 6 minutes without scoring a basket, and it's really hard to get into any kind of rhythm doing that.
Fisher flicks a 3 in and out, almost just nailed her 3rd three-pointer. Talley speeding into the offensive end, inside the three-point arc, right side, cross-court pass to Mayers. Mayers three-pointer off the front of the iron, gets her own rebound, dumps it off to Talley down low, puts it up and scores. Talley cuts it to a 16-point game. It's 28-12 Marymount with 5:20 left. Emily Mayers with good place, missed the 3, didn't give up on it, and went right back at the offensive glass. Fisher on the other end, shot blocked by the Blazers. Tomaszewski with the rebound. A jump ball is going to be called as Dory Mercer went straight up with her arms and got a piece of it. Good defensive play. That time by Dory Mercer, possession arrow for Hood.
And that right there shows growth. A couple of weeks ago, Dory Mercer would have been all over her, picked up the foul, but that is good coaching by Jack Milne. They work on that in practice, how to stay out of foul trouble. It is an art for most people.
Diana Prater one-on-one against Fisher. Man-to-man defense for Marymount. She's right side baseline, loses the ball. 8 turnover on the Blazers. Fisher into the offensive end, down low to Bohenik. Bohenik scores, and it's 30-12 Marymount. 4:50 left in the first.
Well, Prater's having a very rough afternoon, not off to a good start, Doug. And, you know, I hate to say it, she might be responsible for half their turnovers.
Prater 1 of 5 from the floor, only 1 rebound and 2 points. Mayers a crossover move near side to Talley. Talley 16-footer, a shot that was a line drive like a baseball, and it was too long. Marymount into the offensive end. It's Hildreth. Hildreth. Prater picked her pocket, and it is going to be called a foul with Prater and Hildreth both on the floor. The foul is going to go on Bohenik, who came in to fight for the ball as well. It'll be the team 6th on Marymount. Talley and Byers will come out for Hood. Emily Strout will come in. Brianna Lee, Heather Boyce will come in as well. Dory Mercer will check out, and the Blazers will have the ball in their own backcourt.
A brilliant strip by Prater led to that turnover, and she gets her 64th steal of the season.
On the near side is Heather Boyce. 30-12 Marymount, 4:14 left in the first half. Bounce pass inside the right corner to Emily Strout, the Blazers' lone senior, dumps it off to Boyce. Boyce going into the lane. She is going to travel before a foul was called by the referee right in front of us. And it'll be the 9th turnover on Hood. Marymount with 2. Marymount has turned the ball over 2 consecutive times down the floor after they didn't have a turnover 15 minutes into the first half. Tynesha Parks at the left elbow, back toward the basket, hands it off to Hildreth. Hildreth from right to left side mid lane, hands it off to Dickens. Dickens left side baseline, back to Hildreth, left low block, off to Parks, right low block, and she is fouled on her way up. Will go to the line to shoot a pair. It's 30-12 Marymount, 3:45 remaining. Parks at the line to shoot 2.
And Sam Spencer comes racing by us to check in to add insult to injury. She's having a great half along with Fisher. They have, 4 3-pointers combined and 16 points.
Parks misses the first one. Tynesha Parks came into this game 45% from the line. Coming out of the game, Hildreth. Again, Sam Spencer checks in. Marymount 5 of 9 from 3-point range. The Blazers 0 of 5. Second free throw made by Parks, so 15 of the 31 points for Marymount. 3-pointers.
Yeah,
it'll
kill you. It'll kill you every time, and it really drains morale when you can't get around to the ball fast enough and a team keeps popping threes on you. It's the ultimate equalizer, Doug.
Prater over to Mares. Mares on the right wing. Mares dribbling with the left hand, and a hand check is going to be called on Tynesha Parks at the foul line.
Blue 33.
And it'll be the 17th foul on Marymount, so at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 will be Emily Mares. Tynesha Parks, it's her 3rd foul, so she'll have to take a seat. Will be probably out the rest of the half. Coming into the game will be Jackie Bohennick.
Yeah, she's big, Parks is. She gives Marymount a lot of energy, and a couple of those fouls were spent dealing with Jessica Talley as Emily Mares drains the free throw.
Mares comes in 74% from the free throw line. She's 21 of 28 now as she hits the second as well. 31-14 Marymount, 3:27 left in the first half. Dominique Dickens dribbling past midcourt, will hold it up at the top of the key, picks up her dribble, right elbow pass to Bohennick. Bohennick back towards the basket, dribbles with the left hand, overhead pass to Fisher outside the left wing, down low pass, left low post to Tomaszewski, who powers her way up and makes the basket. It's 33-14 Marymount. 3 minutes left in the first half.
Tomaszewski's a bull on the low post. You have to triple team her when she gets the ball. You can't do anything with her on one-on-one coverage.
Prater right side baseline, the rainbow shot over Tomaszewski wouldn't go, gets her own rebound, and the ensuing shot by her crawls out, and it'll go off of the Blazers' Emily Straub on the near side baseline. It'll be Marymount ball. 33-14, Saints over the Blazers. 2:45 left in the first. Dominique Dickens controls the point for Marymount as Dickens and Fisher seem to switch on and off with who runs the point as Fisher has it now top of the key. Over to the left at the top of the wheel to Spencer. Spencer an overhead pass to Dickens. Dickens inside a 3-point arc. Dickens a 3-pointer. It was too short, hit nothing, and a foul is going to be called by the referee underneath the basket, and it is going to go on Tomaszewski. It'll be called a push. Blue 34, the referee in black and white says. It'll be a third on Tomaszewski. 33-14 Marymount, 2:28 remaining, and anything is going right for the Blazers. That Tomaszewski has 3 and Parks has 3, 2 big players for Marymount.
So what do you do with that information if you're Jack Mail? You expose any matchup. If they're going to play zone and hide her, that's fine. But she's now a defensive liability for Marymount.
I would put Dory Mercer into the game. First free throw, Mares the 1-and-1 off the front of the rim. 2:25 left in the first half, 33-14 as Marymount worked the defensive glass. Bohennick right side baseline, pass over to the left side to Dickens. Dickens left low block to Tomaszewski, who is hacked on her way up, will go to the line for 2 free throws as the foul will go on Emily Straub, the Blazers' lone senior, who was honored before the game started this afternoon. It's the 15th foul on Hood.
Well, she might have 3 fouls. We're talking about Tomaszewski, but that doesn't certainly stop them from feeding the ball to her on the post continuously. And again, the Blazers are playing around with one-on-one coverage against her. You just can't do it. She's too big, she's too strong, and she's too agile around the basket.
Tomaszewski misses both free throws, and the Blazers going to the offensive end. It's Prater on the right wing, up top to Mayers. Mayers flicks the three, too short, brought down by Tomaszewski, and Emily Mayers 0 of 4 from downtown. On the right wing, Bohenik. Bohenik down low to Fisher. Fisher kicks it back out to Spencer. Wide open three. She lets it fly. It's off to the left. Brought down by Emily Strout, the Blazers senior.
Injury.
And an injury down underneath the Blazers basket. They're still playing in the offensive end. Mayers releases a 16-footer to the right of the elbow, and it's no good. And the whistle is going to blow as Marymount got the ball. Bohenik comes up limping. She's going to check out of the game, although walking under her own power. Salzgiver will come in along with Tynesha Parks for Marymount. Salzgiver is going to take out Tomaszewski, who has 3 fouls. So it's 33-14 Marymount, under 2 minutes left in the first half. It's Dominique Dickens along with Salzgiver, Tynesha Parks, Kaylin Fisher, Sam Spencer for Marymount, Prater, Strout, Mayers, Boyce, and Brianna Lee for the Blazers. Fisher at the foul line. Fisher now working right inside the arc, right side, cross-court pass over to Spencer. Spencer lets fly to 3, it's no good. Parks walks the offensive glass and makes the basket. It's 35-14 Marymount, a minute 20 remaining. Tynesha Parks, she has 3 fouls, but gets the offensive rebound there. 4th rebound for Parks. She now has 3 points. Top of the key, it's Boyce. Boyce whips it over to Mayers. Mayers pushes it over to Prater. Prater, pump fake, drives into the lane, lays it up and in, off the window.
Well, hopefully that'll get her going. She's now 2 of 8 from the field and 4 points, and she's certainly a player that needs to get involved early and stay involved.
Prater, the leading scorer on this Blazer squad, averages 14 points a game, 35-16 Marymount, under a minute left in the first half. Fisher picks up her dribble on the left wing, finds Dickens. Dickens left side mid lane. The shot was around the rim. It bounced out. Blazers have it. About a 9-second differential between the 2 clocks. Prater straight to the hoop and puts it in. Prater, the dribble penetration, took it herself, and she has 2 baskets, 2 consecutive trips down the court.
Well, we know she can explode, Doug, and she gets her points in bunches. We'll see if that carries over to the second half.
35-18 Marymount. A 1-second differential between the 2 clocks. Down on the right low block is Tynesha Parks, and Parks delivers. It's 37-18. Marymount, 4 seconds remaining. Prater motoring offensive end, left elbow, shot won't go. Boyce with the rebound underneath the basket, hits the bottom of the backboard, and the Blazers are going to enter halftime down 37-18. We'll take a short break, be back with the halftime show on the Hood Athletic Network.
This is a Priest production.
Welcome to the Hood Athletic Network halftime show. In a short moment, Doug Raftery and Ryan Hedrick will present first half recap and analysis for your Hood College Blazers.
Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network halftime show. It's 37-18 Marymount over the Blazers, and Ryan Hedrick, the Blazers really just outplayed in that first half. That's the word to use, I think. Marymount shot 41% from the floor, but the key was Marymount's defense. They held the Blazers to 28% shooting.
Marymount's defense, they rotated to the ball well. They did not give the Blazers a second to breathe, and they certainly didn't give them many second chance opportunities. And how about the low turnover number for Marymount, Doug? Very impressive. They didn't even pick up their first turnover until about maybe 14 minutes into the ball game, and the way they shot the three, my goodness. Who can come back from that? Who knows? We'll see.
5 of 12 from three-point range was Marymount. 2 3-pointers for Fisher, 2 for Sam Spencer. And as for the Blazers, what was working for them early on was Rachel Wiley. She was 2 of 2 from the floor for 4 points, but they had to go away from her because she was on the bench for most of that first half because she picked up 2 fouls. One, maybe we don't agree with Ryan Hedrick, but nonetheless 2 fouls, and Rachel Wiley just has to find out some kind of way to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, it's a growing experience for her. It's a learning experience, Doug. Jack Mail talks to us all the time about the growth and the development of Rachel Wiley, the back-to-the-basket game. Well, also along the same lines is learning to play defense, and there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive and being overly aggressive and picking up stupid fouls. And that's exactly what she's doing, but that's because she's a freshman. She's still learning, she's still growing. This is new to her. This level is new to her. She'll be much better as the years go on. She's only a freshman. This team certainly has a bright future.
Blazers down 37-18 at halftime. We're going to take a short break and be back with cheerleader Ashley Noakes, a senior who started the cheerleading program. Myself, Ryan Hendrick, we'll be right back with you on the Hood Athletic Network.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's going to do most of the talking.
Okay.
Wait, is your mic on? Nope. We don't want the Justin Stone repeat.
Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network. Doug Raftery along with my partner Ryan Hedrick. We're here with Hood College cheerleader Ashley Noakes, and Ashley, a senior, a captain on the cheerleading squad. Let's start from the very beginning and how this program started up. I know you're a major part of it starting up. Just tell us a little bit how that all happened.
Well, my freshman year, we never made it to a game. And then from there, it kind of grew. My sophomore year, there were 3 of us. Junior year, there were 5, and now there's 12. So it grew. We got new uniforms. We do halftime performances. So we have practices. So it really grew from nothing into an actual program.
And talk about the uniforms a little bit, and also the coach. Do you guys have a coach? And how much work goes into this outside of games? How many times a week do you guys practice?
We practice for 3 hours, 1 time a week. Our uniforms that we had before, I think they were there from when the school had cheerleaders. I don't know how old they were. So we just got updated uniforms. We really wanted people to know that we were serious about it. We wanted people to take us seriously, because in the past we weren't, because there were 3 of us.
And Ashley, what are your plans post-graduation?
I just finished applying to grad school, so I hope to get my master's in clinical social work.
Good for you.
Ashley Noakes, a good friend of mine. Thank you for joining us here
Thank you.
on the Hood Athletic Network, a up and growing program. And thank you to you, because this is going to be a program that is certainly going to grow in the future, and I'm sure you'll be coming back to Hood and seeing it in those growing moments.
Thank you.
We'll be back on the Hood Athletic Network with the start of the second half in about 5 minutes.
Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network, the BB&T Arena. Marymount up 37-18 over the Hood Blazers. Checking the Capital Athletic Conference out-of-town scoreboard. St. Mary's struggling a little bit with Wesley at the half. It's 41-33, that game at Wesley. And as Doug and I were talking about on the pregame show and talking about the standings, St. Mary's 6-8. Wesley 3-10, and one good thing about the Capital Athletic Conference is you certainly never know who's going to beat who on a night in and night out basis, and that reigns true for St. Mary's up 41-33 over Wesley. So we are approaching the second half of play, and Hood down once again by 19. Taking a look at the numbers, the Blazers shot 28% from the field in the first half. Marymount 41%. Marymount led in scoring by Caitlin Fisher, who had 10 and shot the three really well. 2 of 4 from downtown. As a team, they were 5 of 12 from three-point land. They were also shot 50% from the free throw line. The Blazers 4 of 7 from the free throw line, and their free throw struggles have been well documented. So it'll be Dickens to bring the ball left to right across the half-court line for Marymount, and she swings it in the left corner to Spencer, who dribbles at the top of the key, now feeds Parks left to the key. Parks running right-hander, no good, and Rachel Wiley up high to pull down a rebound. Wiley gives it to Prater, and the Blazers on the attack right to left. Prater gallops into the front court with the right-hand dribble, now left-hand dribble above the perimeter. Now terminates the dribble and gives to Mares. Mares high above the three-point line, feeds it off the hands of Stroup, and it goes off of her hands into the hands of Caitlin Fisher. And here comes Marymount left to right. Feeds Dickens. Baseline left is Dickens. She hits the side of the backboard with the shot, and the rebound is pulled down by Stroup, the lone senior, being honored today here at BB&Tina on Senior Day. It is snowing cats and dogs out there, if that is a proper term, but nevertheless it is falling hard as Rachel Wiley gets the entry pass and drops it. Another turnover for the Blazers, their 11th of the afternoon. Dickens feeds Parks, and the ball is knocked away by Wiley, who is playing with 2 fouls. A very iffy move by Wiley. Certainly don't want to pick up the third foul this early into the half, if ever. Now Parks gets the ball inside, misses a layup, tries to get the rebound back off her hands, and Wiley chasing it down right in front of the Marymount bench, feeds Prater. Prater right to left on the attack for the Blazers. Prater right hand dribble, comes to the baseline, the right baseline, kicks the ball out left side to Lee. Lee's two-pointer is good. Brianna Lee just inside the three-point line, knocking it down. It's 37-21, Hood down by 16 with 18 and a half left to go here in the game. With the ball, Spencer. Spencer baseline left to Dickens. She shoots a 2 and gets it. Dickens on the three-point line, knocks it down, makes it 39-20. Marymount leading with 18-19 left.
How about the previous trip, though, for Brianna Lee? We talked about her development early in this one, and she has just been able to pop it and drop it from 18-19 out. Impressive.
Lee with the top of the key pass to Mares. Mares quickly two-team, now baseline right. Now she's three-team, feeds Wiley, and the pass is thrown away, intended for Wiley into the hands of Parks. Here comes Parks and Marymount left to right. Parks down the lane, lays it off the left side of the glass with the left hand. Marymount extending the lead to 21. 41-20 with 17:50 left to go in the half.
Parks is just so athletic, listed at 5'11", the junior from Lorton, Virginia, and maybe not the best player, but sure athletic.
Emily Mares is now drawing 2 and 3 teams every time she touches the ball. Emily Stroup with the ball, right elbow. The key throws up a wild shot. I'm not sure if that ball was deflected out of bounds. She just lost it out of bounds to Marymount.
It'll be the 13th turnover on the Blazers.
So the Saints have the ball. Left to right on the attack comes Dickens. Dickens dribbling along the right-hand corner of the floor right in front of her own bench. Top of the key to Spencer. Right elbow to Tomaszewski. Now she feeds Fisher inside to Parks. Parks' shot is good, and Parks is certainly starting to pick apart this defense, Doug.
Yeah, she has 9 points now, 4 of 8 shooting, but it's not Tynesha Parks, Ryan. It's the rest of the Marymount team really having good ball movement around the perimeter, working at the foul line to Tomaszewski and finding Parks slashing into the middle part of the lane.
Prater to Mares. Mares right side to Lee. Lee above the three-point line, dribbling with the right hand. Now she's guarded tightly by Dickens. Now top of the key to Prater. 7 on the shot clock. Prater stops at the free throw line, kicks it out right side to Lee for 3. Off the front of the rim, Straub pulling out the rebound. Straub high off the glass, that shot is no good. Dickens snatching the rebound down. Front court to Fisher. Fisher on the left side. Fisher cross court pass to Spencer for 3. Spencer drained the three-pointer. Spencer and Fisher are picking apart the Blazers single-handedly. Timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout for the Blazers. And Doug, this thing's starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, Spencer now with 9, Fisher with 10. Combined, they have 5 of the 6 Marymount three-pointers this afternoon. And the Blazers just not rotating very well on the defensive, and that was very well done on Marymount's end, Ryan. But Marymount, how many times have they run the same play where they're on the perimeter, Tomaszewski comes and receives it on the foul line, back to the basket, Fisher looks to slash. If that's off, she has an option to bounce back up top. Either her or Spencer will get the 3, and they'll pop it and they're hitting it. It's an easy play. They're running it every single time they're getting open. It's got to be frustrating. Hood can't stop it.
6 3-pointers for the Saints this afternoon. 46-20, back to live action. Ryan Hedrick, Doug Raftery, courtside on Senior Day here from BB&T Arena in Frederick, Maryland. Prater with the ball on the right side, dribbling with the right hand above the three-point line. Now she terminates the dribble, holds it up and gives to Wiley. Wiley way above the three-point line, cross-court pass left side to Lee, who stumbles on the dribble and is fouled. Fouled on the play by Salzgiver. And Salzgiver picking up the foul, her first. And with 16-11 left to go in the half, Marymount Saints up 46-20. Lee right in front of her own bench. She'll bring it out to Straub, right back to Lee. Lee on the left side above the three-point line, top of the key to Prater. Prater on the right-hand dribbles high above the three-point line against Fisher. Now they feed inside to Wiley, intended for Wiley, knocked away by Tomaszewski. Lee gets it back, feeds Prater. Prater dribble drive, right-hand runner, no good, wildly off the glass. Straub pulls the rebound down and scores. Oh, nice effort by Straub, scoring it off the left side of the glass with the left hand, and Hood down by 24, 46-22. With the ball in the front court, left to right is the Saints and Marymount. Had the ball with Tomaszewski. Tomaszewski to Salzgiver. Salzgiver right back to Tomaszewski. They swing it around the perimeter to Fisher. Fisher, right-hand dribble, being harassed defensively by Prater. Kicks it baseline right to Bohannick. Bohannick baseline left to Fisher. Fisher feeds into Bohannick. She takes it up strong, and she is fouled. Apparently she's all right, coming off the ankle injury in the first half. She was pushed in the back by Straub, and Straub picks up her second foul, and Bohannick will go to the line for 2.
Lucky it's on Emily Straub because Rachel Wiley was right in the vicinity there. Could have picked up foul number 3. Bohannick to the line, hits the first one, and is 4 of 5 from the charity stripe this afternoon.
Bohannick is a 50% free throw shooter, make that 60% free throw shooter coming into this afternoon's contest. Both of her free throws are good, making it 48-22 Saints with 15-20 left to go in the half. Prater across the half-court line with the right-hand dribble. Gives to Mayers. Mayers high above the three-point line on the right side, looking to go into Wiley. Can't find her. Instead goes to Prater. Now Prater goes into Wiley. Wiley is fronted on the defensive end and knocked down hard and fouled. And they're either going to get that foul on Salzgiver, and they are. So Salzgiver picks up her second foul in as many possessions down the floor.
You got to love for the Blazers, though, as Wiley went to the ground. Prater was at the top of the key and raced to help Wiley up.
That's teamwork in every sense of the word. Lee for 3. That ball is short, and Tomaszewski pulls down the rebound, gives to the captain and leader, Fisher. Caitlin Fisher dribbles left to right across the half-court line. Now Spencer with the ball, now right of the key, comes around a screen, terminates the dribble, looks into Bohannick and throws the pass over her head. A bad pass, and the first one off the Marymount bench to greet her, and not in a nice way, as Ashley Corder says, come on, you could place the pass better than that. And certainly a teaching experience there, Doug, as Fisher brings the ball out to Bohannick. Top of the key to Fisher. They go to Salzgiver. Salzgiver swings left side to Fisher. Now left elbow to Bohannick. Bohannick right side to Spencer for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Tomaszewski unguarded and unblocked, gets the offensive rebound, takes it up strong, and she's fouled. And she is all over the place this afternoon. Very active.
Yeah, Tomaszewski is 7th in the CAC in rebounds per game. Averages 7.6 a game, and she has 8 in this game, so at her average already, only 6 minutes into the second half.
Tomaszewski, a 5'10" senior from Howells, New York, misses the free throw.
Jessica Talley will come in for Emily Strout for the Blazers.
Stroup has played some quality minutes and pulled down some good rebounds, 1 of 3 from the field. 5 boards, though. That's second behind her teammate Rachel Wiley, who has 6 boards and 5 points herself. Tomaszewski's free throws in and out, misses both. Talley pulls down the rebound. That'll be Jessica Talley's 3rd rebound of the afternoon. Prater comes right to left across the half-court line on the attack for the Blazers. Top of the key to Boyce. Boyce holds it up with the right-hand dribble against Spencer. Now left side to Prater. Prater looking inside to Wiley, finds her left to the key. Wiley takes it up too strong, and Mayers pulls down the rebound. Top of the key to Boyce. Boyce shoots a 3 off the back of the rim. Wiley gets the rebound and scores the basket, and she's going to the line for a 3-point opportunity.
Rachel Wiley, 3 of 3 from the floor now for 7 points. Just made her 7th rebound. And if she gets double-digit rebounds in this effort this afternoon, it'll be the first time in 3 games that she's able to do that. But again, it's not because she's been playing bad or hasn't been getting good positioning. It's because of the foul trouble.
Remember this season's matchup, which happened in Arlington. Wiley walked away with a double-double, 12 points, 10 boards. She's on her way there this afternoon. Free throw good. Completes a 3-point play, and you're never out of this one, Doug. A lot of time. 48-25 Saints lead over the Blazers with 14:10 left to go here in the second half.
This is a Marymount team that has just been playing good defense, though, in their last 3 games. Have held each of their opponents to under 58 points.
Fisher to Bohannic, left elbow, now feeds Bohannic cutting across. A beautiful job of give-and-go basketball is Bohannic to Fisher and back to Bohannic for the finish.
That was a different setup play. They still went to the foul line, out to Fisher on the right wing, but instead of Fisher having an option, they just had Bohannic cutting in.
Prater with the ball on the left side gives to Mayers. Mayers running left-hander is good. A nice scoop shot by Mayers. And with 13:38 left to go, Marymount leads 50-27. Now a whistle blows on the floor, and it's going to be
Blazer ball.
Blazer ball. Turnover, apparently. I did not see that.
And she stepped on the inline coming in, thanks to our PA announcer, Adam Peterson.
And with the ball now is Prater. Thank you to Adam for the information. Prater with the right-hand dribble feeds Talley right of the key. Talley out to Mayers. Mayers holds it up above the 3-point line, drives baseline right, but that's shut off. Right back to Talley on the right side. Talley's jumper is off the back of the rim, and pulling down the rebound is Fisher. Caitlin Fisher brings it left to right on the attack for the Saints. Dribbles with the right hand, bounce pass right of the key to Parks. Parks right back to Fisher. Fisher head fake in the lane, drops it right back off to Parks. Just beautiful basketball right there as Parks scores a layup with the right hand off the right side of the glass.
There are much better players than Caitlin Fisher in the CAC.
Well, we're just seeing great basketball this afternoon by the Saints. Mayer's right-hand runner shot no good off the front of the rim, and pulling down rebounds is Dickens. Dickens has numbers, 1-on-2. Dickens to the rack, scores and finishes with the right hand, and this game is getting away from the Blazers. 54-27 with 12:40 left to go in the game.
And Ryan, we've seen only these kind of efforts, I say these, where the Blazers are getting blown out, only a couple times this season in CAC play. Mary Wash, one of them, York, the other one.
Yeah, certainly, Doug, and we get a whistle on the play inside. I believe they're going to get Parks.
Yeah, I think it was before the basket was made by Dory Mercer.
And if they do get Parks with that, it's going to be her 4th, but they do not get her. That's what I get for assuming Hildreth picks up the foul. That's her first personal. Tomaszewski into the ball game, and Bohannic, a nice effort, but is kind of gingerly walking on that ankle as she goes to meet Ashley Corder at the Marymount bench. Now bringing it out, right of the basket is Boyce. Boyce gives to Byers, and that ball is thrown away into the hands of Tomaszewski, and it ends up into the hands of Fisher. Fisher bounce pass right of the key to Parks. Parks turnaround jump shot, that is short. Tomaszewski tips it out of bounds to the Blazers. That's one of the few times that Parks has caught the ball in the post and not scored this afternoon.
Yeah, she's been good now. 5 of 10 from the floor for 11 points, but like Ryan, just what you said, a lot of those shots have been 12, 13 feet out.
Certainly. Prater across the right hand with the right hand dribble, right to left as she walks the ball across the half-court line, gives to Byers. Byers right of the key, feeds Mercer. Mercer cutting around the basket, throws it away, intended for Talley. Winds up in the hands of Hildreth. Hildreth front court to Dominique Dickens. Dickens baseline right to Fisher, right back to Dickens on the right side above the 3-point line. Now she drives the lane. That path is shut off, but she pulls over the free throw line, shoots a jumper. Shot no good, and Prater comes away with it for the Blazers. Prater down the lane. Prater right-hand runner off the glass is good. Diana Prater, a beautiful right-hand runner, making it 54-29 Saints with 11 and a half left to go in the game. Dickens will bring the ball up, and we've certainly seen Fisher and Dickens switch off point guard assignments. In the pass from Dickens to Hildreth, cutting along the right baseline is knocked away, and it'll be Saints basketball. A 30-second timeout with the score 54-29 with 11:25 left to go here at the BB&T Arena.
And what's so interesting in this game so far, and is certainly a storyline, the three-pointers, of course. Hood 0 of 9. Emily Mayers, we're going to have to start looking at that, as she is without a three-pointer, 0 for 4, 18 consecutive games. But the other storyline, Ryan, 15 turnovers to 3. The Blazers with the 15. And Marymount this season, a team that averages 20 turnovers a game. Boy, have they taken care of the basketball.
Well, I certainly would like, if anybody from Marymount Sports Information Department is listening, certainly you could direct your chat information to us. I'd like to know if that's a season low for them. Quite possibly. It's very impressive, though. 3 turnovers for the Saints, who were up by 25 points, 54-29, 11:15 left to go here in the game. Boyce with the ball for the Blazers. On the right side, top of the key to Prater, high above the three-point line. Prater, dribble drive, pulls up left elbow the key, now feeds baseline left to Byers. Byers looks for Boyce. Boyce in the lane. Boyce feeds Mercer, who was not expecting the pass. Now Mercer is two-team. She is tied up, and the possession arrow will stay Blazers ball.
Marymount this season, Ryan, they haven't had a game in which they haven't had double-digit turnovers.
Unbelievable, Doug. Just an outstanding performance by them. Byers with the ball right side. 3 on the shot clock. Her shot is blocked by Parks and taken away by Caitlin Fisher. Fisher left to right across the half-court line with the right-hand dribble. Now she'll pull up for 3, and it's short, and getting the rebound is Boyce. Boyce pulls down the rebound front court to Talley. Talley runs over her player, charging foul on the play, and Talley make that a traveling call rather. And Talley just caught the ball, looked up, and the first thing she saw was Fisher, who was in position. Fisher fell to the ground, but Talley couldn't do anything but travel.
So smart. This Caitlin Fisher girl is so smart.
A high basketball IQ, Doug.
Offensively, defensively, it doesn't, at the popcorn stand, it doesn't matter.
Dickens across the half-court line for Marymount, gives to Fisher. Fisher above the three-point line, dribbles around a Tomaszewski screen, now comes down the lane, feeds Parks, and just a beautiful job of drawing the defense, feeding Tanisha Parks, and Parks' points have really come off a lot of assists by Fisher. She has
11.
11 assists.
Double-double for Fisher, 11 assists, 10 points.
Prater, right side to Byers. Byers baseline right, being harassed defensively by Parks, and now holds it up. She terminated the dribble, now nowhere to go, and Parks steals the ball. Tanisha Parks steals the ball front court to Fisher. Fisher left to right for the Saints. Fisher crossover dribble to elude Prater. Now kicks it out to Dickens for 3. That's short, and Byers will let it roll out of bounds to the Blazers. But that crossover dribble, and Prater's a good defender, but that crossover dribble broke her ankles and left her in the wind as she blew by Prater on her way to the basket to feed it out to her teammate. Prater will walk the ball across the half-court line with the right-hand dribble. Prater, the floor general for this Blazers squad, who's trying to finish out the season as strong as they can. Wiley throws the ball over the head of Talley. It is now just becoming a turnover show for the Blazers now, as Emily Mayers comes into the ball game with the 18 three-pointers on the line, consecutively 18 three-pointers.
And for Caitlin Fisher, 11 assists, ties the season high. She had 11 in the last game against Wesley. She is on a hot streak and feeding the basketball.
Yeah, she is playing in at a point where her team really needs her, Doug, as they go into the playoffs here. Fisher, baseline left, just controlling the show. Bounce pass right side to Dickens, rather, and Dickens loses the ball on the way up. And we'll see, are we going to get a foul, or is it just out of bounds?
Looks like it's just out of bounds off of the Blazers. Brianna Lee will come in for Heather Boyce. Shot clock's at 9.
Boyce will check out. And Boyce this afternoon 0 for 4 from the field, 2 boards. Now with the shot clock at 9. Inbounding the ball is Bohannik. She throws it, and Prater and Fisher are running for it, and Fisher beats her the ball. Dickens, bounce pass left to the key to Tomaszewski. She goes up, her shot is blocked. The shot clock expires, but they're going to call a foul. Oh, Marymount was bailed out by the whistle, as it seemed like Talley had a great defensive play.
Wow, and starting from before that, Ryan, That should have been a backcourt violation as Prater did not touch that ball, screamed backcourt, and then when the foul happened right before the buzzer, Prater was at the Blazers foul line and just tossed her hands up in the air.
Tomaszewski misses the free throw. She's not been that good at the line this afternoon. She's 0 for 5 to go along with her 8 rebounds and 6 assists. Take nothing away from her. She's had a well-rounded game, but it's really Caitlin Fisher who's been the star. Fisher, a double-double, 11 assists, and 10 points as the free throw is missed again by Tomaszewski, having a rough afternoon at the line. Now 0 for 6 as Mayers pulls down the rebound. Front court to Talley. Talley left elbow, now drives on Bohanec. Tough runner for Talley, does not go. And pulling the rebound down is Fisher. Front court to Dickens. Dickens and her have been in a tandem this afternoon, have really been picking the Blazers' defense apart. Now Fisher, baseline left, bounce pass out front to Spencer. Spencer entry pass to Bohanec, right elbow the key. Bohanec hands off to Fisher. Fisher down the lane, right-hand runner is good, and Fisher is just controlling this ball game in all aspects with the dribble drive, the finger roll finish. Marymount now leading 58-29 with 8:26 left to go. Talley with the ball at the free throw line in the lane now, feeds out to Wiley. Wiley drives the basket. Wiley runs over a defender, and a traveling violation on Wiley, who has managed to stay out of foul trouble here, but just can't get it working. And a turnover by the Blazers, their 18th of the game.
Rachel Wiley with 8 points and 7 rebounds, but it's tough to work down low to her when you know she has 3 fouls and you don't want her to pick up the 4th, and it's a tough line to cross.
Salzgiver hands off to Fisher, being guarded by Mayers. Now Fisher comes around a Tomaszewski screen, comes to the right baseline, backs out above the 3-point line. Top of the key to Spencer. They swing it around to Salzgiver. Salzgiver above the 3-point line with the right-hand dribble, comes around a Bohanec screen. Now hands off to Fisher. 5 on the shot clock. Fisher feeds Bohanec. Baseline left, 3 on the shot clock. Shot no good. Fisher pulls down the rebound, and that kind of epitomizes what kind of afternoon she is having, Doug Raftery. Fisher bounce pass left elbow to Tomaszewski, resetting the shot clock. Now gets to Spencer baseline right. Now to Tomaszewski, who looks inside to Bohanec. Right back to Fisher, just moving the ball really well. Fisher dribble drive to the basket, and she's foul going up.
It has just been a phenomenal performance for almost every Marymount player.
Yeah.
I mean, they're shooting 45% average, as they came in only shooting 38%. I say average because it's probably what you should be shooting as a team. But
and that Fisher rebound kind of sets the tone, or has set the tone for the way the Saints have played. They've just wanted it more, Doug.
Oh, certainly. Emily Straub will come in, the senior for the Blazers, for Rachel Wiley. And it's amazing when you look at the numbers and you see the Blazers shooting 29%, and they just shot 36% against the number 7 team in the nation who has the best defense in the nation.
It's
a head scratcher.
It's baffling. That is for sure. Free throw is good, making it 60-29. Marymount with 7:23 left to go here in the game. Prater, baseline left to Mayers. Mayers shoots a 3 and gets it! 19 straight games with a 3-pointer for Emily Mayers, who extends the streak, taking it right down to the wire.
It reminds you of the Stevenson game, doesn't it? Only a couple games ago on February 4th, she had a 3-pointer with only a few minutes left.
Tomaszewski to Fisher. Fisher penetration, dribble drive to Salzgiver. Salzgiver a 3 of her own off the back of the rim, no good. Battling for the rebounds, Prater and Salzgiver. There's a whistle that blows, and we are going to get a foul on number 10. It's not number 10 for the Blazers, number 10 for Marymount. That's Salzgiver. Zoe Salzgiver picks up the foul. That is going to be her 3rd as Prater gallops across the half-court line with the right-hand dribble. Prater feeds Mayers on the left side. She just extended her 3-point streak to 19 straight games with a 3. Now Brianna Lee catches the ball on the right side, feeds Emily Strapp, baseline right. Her shot is in and out, and Lee reaches over the back of Salzgiver and picks up the offensive foul, trying to get the board on the loose ball.
Yeah, Brianna Lee's not going to work the glass very well on the offensive end, checking in at 5'4". Gotta reach over
you know
there
what,
a little
Doug?
bit.
The amazing thing is
she does usually do a pretty good job.
The amazing thing is she is one of the most the fiercest competitors on the Blazers.
Yeah.
And she, every game, 3 or 4 rebounds. guarantee from that little 5'4" guard, that's for sure. Spencer feeds Tomaszewski on the pick and roll baseline right as Tomaszewski, she catches it about 4 feet away from the basket and drops home a little floater off the glass and making it a 30-point Marymount lead, 62-32 with 16:15 left to go.
8 points, 8 rebounds for Tomaszewski.
Lee barrels over her defender, and they call a blocking foul on that. Wow. They call a blocking foul. Tomaszewski is well outside the key, within the key, as I call it.
I don't think Tomaszewski moved for the entire shot clock on that one. She certainly was not shuffling those feet.
And that's going to be her 4th, but that's a moot point right now at this point of the game. It's a 30-point game, 62-32. This is the Lady Blazers' last game in this arena, and certainly we have seen things in this arena that make me think that next year will be a different story, Doug Raftery.
Oh, absolutely.
In what will be the Middle Athletic Conference.
Well, just think. I mean, you look at this conference and how good it is. Salisbury at 3rd place. Hood only lost here at the BB&T Arena by 9. They beat Washington Adventist here. They fell to Stevenson only by 7 here. York, who is a very good team, they fell by 15, but that was closer than the score says. They defeated Wesley here by 11 points, and then they beat Frostburg here by 1 and lost to Mary Wash, the 7th-ranked team in the nation, by 6. There's been very good home play for the Blazers this season, although the wins might not be there.
And there's been bits and pieces of some success on the road. I know when I first joined the network back in early December, a 71-57 win on December 17th against Notre Dame. That was certainly a great game. That's the first game back from Brianna Lee for a concussion. Free throw good, making it 62-34 in Marymount with 6 minutes left to go in the game. Dickens penetration, dribble drive out to Fisher. Fisher and Tomaszewski running that pick and roll so well as Fisher goes to the basket. The Blazers just don't know how to defend that, and who could blame them? I mean, Fisher and Tomaszewski have played a brilliant pick and roll game this afternoon.
Yeah, Mares and Prater switched off on that one, and unfortunately that is an absolute mismatch for Emily Mares. She isn't quick enough to guard Caitlin Fisher, who is looking for points number 15 and 16. She makes the first free throw and checks in at 84% from the charity stripe this season. What doesn't Caitlin Fisher do?
And the bad thing for Capital Athletic Conference competition, Doug, is Fisher will be back next year. She is only a junior, and she is just growing, and she is so fundamentally sound. Free throw is good, and it is 64-34 with 5:57 left to go.
And you could say about Caitlin Fisher, say, hey, Doug Raftery, she gets to 39 minutes a game. She rarely gets a break. That's why she's second in the CAC in points per game. Folks, that's not the reason. That's not the reason.
Would you take her out?
No, I wouldn't. She's a good player.
You almost can't afford not to have her on the court.
You're absolutely right.
That's the bottom line about her. Her talent is the reason she garners that many minutes. With the ball is Brianna Lee. Lee steps behind the three-point line and off the front of the rim, no good. And snatching the rebound is Dickens. An elusive dribble for Dickens behind the back to elude Prater as she advances the ball left to right across the half-court line. Now feeds Spencer. Spencer above the three-point line goes to the dribble drive in the lane. Kicks it out right side to Dickens. Dickens right elbow the key back to Hildreth. Hildreth right back to Dickens, and they go right corner to Spencer with 8 on the shot clock. Spencer has hit plenty of threes this afternoon. Gives back to Fisher with 5 on the shot clock, and right in front of us, Emily Mares fouling Fisher, and that's pretty much been the story of the game, sending Fisher to the free throw line. This will be her 5th and 6th attempts. She's perfect at the line this afternoon to go along with 11 assists and 16 points and a timeout on the floor.
Going to be a full timeout for Marymount as Fisher will be at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 and a 30-point lead with 5:18 remaining. And Caitlin Fisher, I mean, you can't say enough about her, how impressive she's been, but it's not only her, it's Tomaszewski and this offense that they run, finding Tomaszewski or Bohenik at the foul line. Then having Fisher have an option of whether to cut in, stay above the three-point line. If she stays above, she can hit the three so efficiently, second in the CAC in three-point percentage, 40.5%. And she just does it all, but this whole team helps her out. That's the big key, is she's not a one-man player.
This is certainly a fundamentally sound team, and what got me from the outset of this game, Doug, is the way they move the ball, the way they look for the high percentage shot. They always look for the best shot available, and they will not compromise their offense to get a good shot. They work around Fisher. They got a nice top of the pick and roll game at the top of the key with Tomaszewski and Fisher. And when all else fails, guess what? You have Sam Spencer waiting above the perimeter for a three-pointer, and she's hit plenty of them this afternoon.
Well, just look at that last possession. You know, they'll use the entire shot clock. They'll run the offense, and then with 6 on it, they're still outside the three-point arc, and they get fouled. But still, they'll use the whole 30 seconds. They have no problem doing that as we get back to action behind us.
So it is senior day at Hood coming up after this on the network. An exciting day here on the Hood Athletic Network is the men's team in another must-win situation. It seems that we've been saying this for 2 weeks. It has become a common theme for Tom Dickman's crew as Caitlin Fisher will go to the line where she is 4 of 4 this afternoon. A 30-point lead for Marymount, 64-34. Free throw good by Fisher, making it 65-34 with 5:18 left. Fisher now has a game-high 17.
And you see Blaze back there, the Hood College mascot, trying to distract her. I'm not sure anything can distract Caitlin
She's
Fisher.
in a zone this afternoon, quite honestly. The way she's shooting, she's now 6 for 6 at the line, 18 points, 11 assists for the Saints leader. And speaking of Saints, up to 66-34 is Prater for the Blazers. Advances the ball across the half-court line. Prater hands off to Lee. Lee feeds Wiley right of the key. Wiley left-hand hook shot off the glass too hard. Gets the rebound back and scores. Oh, that is something that we've seen Wiley grow leaps and bounds with in the last couple of weeks. Sticking to it, getting the next shot to fall. 7 rebounds, 8 points for Wiley, who is 3 rebounds and 2 points shy of another double-double. Dickens comes, feeds Fisher on the right side. Fisher holds it up above the three-point line, top of the key to Dickens. Dickens left-hand dribble, feeds Hildreth. Hildreth baseline left, throws it away, intended for Fisher. Wiley poking it in the air and pokes it right out of bounds. It'll stay Saints basketball, but 4 on the shot clock as they have it out at the half-court line.
And Wiley actually with 10 points and 8 rebounds, so only 2 rebounds away from a double-double.
Fisher feeds Spencer, 1 on the shot clock. Shot is no good off the front of the rim, and that would have just kind of typified how everything has gone this afternoon here at BB&T Arena. Prater into the front court for the Hood Blazers, feeds Mares. Mares on the left side, left of the key now to Wiley. Wiley takes it up strong and scores the basket, and why not? The young freshman is finishing off this afternoon strong, taking it to the hole now, and will go to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
12 points, 9 rebounds now for Wiley, 1 rebound short of a double-double as she misses the free throw.
And pulling down the rebound is Hildreth. Hildreth front court to Fisher. Fisher gives to Dominique Dickens, who advanced the ball left to right across the half-court line. Now feeds Fisher, left elbow of the key. Fisher fending off Prater with the right hand, and she shoots the, she's not shoot the 3. Entry pass instead goes to Hildreth, right of the key. And I'll tell you what, Fisher is a tenacious player, Doug. You could see her playing games with Prater. Get away from me, almost stiff-arming her. Prater takes it to the hole, high off the glass, shot no good, and she'll go to the line for free throws.
Yeah, Prater and Fisher still going at it out there as Prater gave her a little bit of a smile out at the top of the key. And the
But Fisher never smiles. That's the one thing about her. She is all business from start to finish. And Tomaszewski's going to come into the ball game for Hildreth.
Hildreth fouls out.
So Prater going to the line, and one more free throw, or I'm sorry, free throw is no good. I was thinking that we might have caught, Hildreth did not foul out, Salzgiver fouls out.
Sorry, apologies.
No, that's what stumbled.
Wiley, by the way, with a rebound on the defensive end, double-double. 12 points, 10 rebounds.
So congratulations to Rachel Wiley, her second consecutive double-double against this team. And that in and of itself shows growth, Doug. I mean, stay consistent against one of the top teams. That means you're on your way to the top.
He is double-double, number 7 on the season for Rachel Wiley.
With the ball to Spencer. Spencer feeds Tomaszewski. Stolen by Prater, intended for Fisher. Prater down the lane, right-hand finger roll is good. And Prater coast to coast with the basket. Timeout on the floor.
Well, you like to see the Blazers finishing it out. At least it's going to be a full timeout. Prater now with 11 points and 3 rebounds, and 2 players for the Blazers in double figures. And for Rachel Wiley, she now has double-digit rebounds in 12 of the 23 Blazer games. And you just have to see that number increasing and increasing as the years go on down the road. Only a freshman, but a true freshman at that.
Yeah, and one thing you want to do if you're the Blazers here, Doug, is you want to finish out the game strong. You know, you're down by 25 points. That's a fact, 66-41. But really, it's about finishing strong in front of this home crowd who's come out every game so far to support you. The arena is continuing to fill up. And, you know, just play with a sense of pride and a sense of purpose and try to execute some things. You always want to work on some things to get better for situations where the game might be close. It's all about routine, Doug.
You got to remember, this is a Blazer squad who was 3-13 last year, as we'll return to play behind us and continue. This is a Blazer squad that was 3-13 last year. But that was also with a coach who was a little bit seasoned. And you have a first-year head coach in Jack Mail, who is sitting at 2-12 in his first season. But if they can defeat Salisbury 3-13 in your first season, equaling what you had last year, you lost Allison Lethbridge, who was a senior who just nailed three-pointers all day. And, you know, you can't be too disappointed if you're Hood.
Dickens right side to Hildreth. Hildreth comes around a Fisher screen. Now Fisher gets the ball right back above the three-point line. Fisher being guarded by Prater. Fisher dribbles right, blows right by Prater, and scores the basket with the right hand off the right side of the glass. It is now a 68-41 Marymount lead with 3 minutes left to go. Prater across the half-court line, spins away from Fisher. Off balance, shot is good. Fadeaway shot by Prater. And you got to love this cat and mouse game that Fisher and Prater have going on. It is fun to watch here in the final 3 minutes. 68-43 Marymount leads with 2:40 left to go here at the BB&T Arena. Dickens against Talley, advances the ball in the front court and throws it away. Intended for Spencer. Spencer did not look like she was looking out for that pass, and the ball is thrown out of bounds.
Caitlin Fisher has 20 points for the first time in 7 games this season.
Prater with the ball. Baseline right, backs it out above the three-point line. Now terminates the dribble. Cross-court pass to Wiley, who loses it, and Lee goes to retrieve it above the three-point line. Top of the key now feeds Wiley. Wiley right back to Prater on the left side. Prater pulls up left to the key. Shot good. Prater has really righted her ship here in the second half. She has 15 points on 7 of 14 or 7 of 15 from the field. And with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go, the Saints lead 68-45. Fisher with the ball, left elbow of the key. Now dribbles around a Tomaszewski screen. Feeds Spencer on the left side for 3. And Spencer knocking down the three-pointer. That is her 4th three-pointer in 10 attempts this afternoon, and it is now 71-45 Marymount, 1:49 left.
Yeah, I want to talk about Diana Prater, though, because Prater is a player who, when she gets mad, she plays better. And you need to see Prater just play better in the beginning of the game. Look at her now, driving to the lane, and she'll go to the line for 2, but why didn't we see that in the beginning? Why didn't we see that in the first half? You know, you could see Fisher is frustrating her. She's not happy with Fisher, but she's gone down the court and taken over the game now.
Yeah, this is something that that I've been kind of bothered by all season, because Prater is such an athletically gifted player, and it seems that she plays best, Doug, when she's antagonized, and that is just strange. There's been a lot of great players at a lot of different levels that have played well when they're mad. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson come to mind at the NBA level, and certainly in college. And when you look at Prater, she fits right into that mold, Doug. When she gets mad, she plays really well. 71-47, 1.5 left to go here in the game as Fisher gets the ball above the three-point line, top of the key to Spencer. Spencer directing traffic with the left hand, feeds Tomaszewski. Tomaszewski left elbow, hands to Dickens. Dickens left hand dribble, penetrates, gives out to Spencer, baseline left for 3. It's off the front of the rim. Fisher getting down the rebound, takes it up strong, and Fisher is just everywhere missed shots are, putting herself in a position to get the rebound, putting herself in a position to get the shot, working hard away from the ball, and it is paying dividends for her this afternoon. She's going to the line where she hasn't missed. She's 6 of 6 at the line this afternoon, 20 points, 12 assists, a monster game. Now 7 for 7 at the line. Fisher is an 84% free throw shooter. Doug, coming into this ball game, she was 102 for 121 from the line. Almost unheard of at any level. As both of her free throws go, she has 8 free throws in 8 attempts.
She's good. I think that's all we have to say. She's good.
73-47 with 1:17 left to go here in the game as Talley gives it to Prater. Prater right to left across the half-court line for the Blazers, gives to Mayers. Mayers pulls up left elbow and gets the 15-footer to fall. If you're just tuning in, Mayers did extend her streak to 19 straight games made with a 3. The Blazers down 24, 73-49 with under a minute left to go. Dickens holds the ball up high above the three-point line, feeds Fisher. Fisher kicks it right wing to Spencer for 3 on the right baseline shot, no good. And Stroup, how fitting it is for her to pull down the rebound, under a minute left to go. The only senior on this Blazers squad gives to Prater. Prater, two-team, feeds Talley right elbow. Talley backs it out above the three-point line. Straight away now feeds Fisher. Fisher on the right side, 30 seconds left to go. Fisher drives the right baseline, feeds out to Mayers. Mayers for another three, and that's good! Emily Mayers, well, she wouldn't have extended it. 7 minutes left to go. She would have extended it with 27 and a half seconds left to go. She knocks it down, and it's 73-52 Marymount with 20 seconds left.
Mayers, the third player for the Blazers in double figures, but it just was not enough.
And Ashley Corder is going to call off the Dogs here. It doesn't seem like they're going to score anymore unless Dickens takes a shot. 8 seconds left to go. Dickens looks like she dribbled it out of bounds. Spencer to Fisher, and that's a classy move. Fisher will not score. She'll back it out, run the baseline, and this game is over. And a well-deserved win for the Marymount Saints as they walk away, and they traveled well this afternoon from Arlington, Virginia. Marymount 73, the Hood Blazers 52. And Marymount is well on their way to the playoffs. They seem to have it in cruise control. And it's funny because their record is under 500, but certainly not in the Capital Athletic Conference now, where they're 8-6. The Blazers go to 2-13 in conference, 6-17 overall, Doug. And your impressions of a hard-fought win for the Saints?
Oh, certainly. And Caitlin Fisher, the main story, 6 of 11 from the floor, 8 of 8 from the charity stripe, 22 points, by far a game high. But Tynesha Parks with 13, Sam Spencer with 12, and we said Tomaszewski with 8 rebounds, 8 points, and Caitlin Fisher with a 12 assists as well. And this team is just overall, they work well together, and that's exactly why they're 8-6 in conference, and they need one win out of their next 2 games between Frostburg and Stevenson to clinch a spot, that 4th spot, and have a home first-round playoff game in the CAC playoffs.
So coming up in a few minutes, Doug and I will be back here at the BB&T Arena with the men's pregame show, the warm-up show, as we continue our coverage from the BB&T Arena. It's senior day here at Hood College.
We'll be back with a couple of interviews in a few minutes from all 3 seniors of the Blazers, Brendan Strawn, Ramon Smith, LeVar Rich. So stay tuned to listen to those. We'll be back on the Hood Athletic Network. Welcome back to the Hood Athletic Network, and we are going to play some senior interviews for you. First will be Brendan Strong. Next will be Ramon Smith. Weren't able to talk with senior LeVar Rich before the game, so we'll talk to him hopefully after the game and have some insight on his career and his future. We'll listen to Brendan and then Ramon. Enjoy the interviews. Here with Brendan Strong, a Blazer senior, one of 3 seniors to be playing his last game here at the BB&T Arena. And Brendan, let's start with this season. The Blazers, maybe not the season that you guys expected, and personally you've been here on the Hood Athletic Network with Ramon Smith, the Blazer senior, 2 of 3 now interviewing. And Ramon, your first season here at Hood College, coming from FCC, and talk a little bit about the transition between FCC and a community college to Hood College and the level of play that you've witnessed here in the CAC this season.
Well, the level of play is really different in junior college. In junior college, you find a lot more athletes. When here in the CAC, is a lot more shooters, a lot more fundamentals, so you have to work on the basics. The transition was good for me. It's right down the street, and I'm glad to be here and having a good time, man.
You've had a very effective season. One of your strengths is the dribble drive. You're able to get to the basket. Who do you credit, learning the game of basketball to, and all you've been able to do in your career so far?
I would credit my father. My father passed away 4 years ago, but I would credit him because he's the one that got me into basketball. So if anything I do on the court, I would just credit to him because he's the one that introduced the game to me, so the game to me.
First year with head coach Tom Dickman, and tell me, what have you learned from Coach Dickman so far, transitioning into a new coach from junior college?
A lot of patience. Coach Dickman's the kind of coach that he likes to break things down to you and explain each aspect of what's going on. So a lot of patience and learning, because a phrase that I kept hearing at the beginning of the season was Rome was not built in one day. So a lot of patience, take my time, and knowing that I need to look in the long run instead of looking for right now, and build up, and one day it'll be complete.
Still fighting for the playoffs for Ramon, as if you guys win both games, you're in the playoffs, you're guaranteed. Coming off a loss against Mary Washington, how are you guys going to be able to come together as a team, and what's the relationship with the team kind of like right now?
Well, I think we all forgot about that Mary Washington game. We watched it on game tape. We put it behind us like that game was in the trash. We two games. Mary Washington